Problem shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myInspartners.com.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Welcome to Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Lace up your skates and join Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they introduce you to special player guests and give you the latest news and results from across the USHL. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Fern.
It's another week. It's warmed up a little bit, and that means it's more Outside the Box, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Alexander Fern, Rocky Russo. As always, it's March. A lot has happened since the last time we went ahead and had a conversation. There's been a lot of things happening locally with sports teams. I'm sure we'll talk about that. It's MLB opening week. Of course, me and Rocky, big baseball people. Austin, of course, over there as well, who was on the controls. But it's a good week in sports. Rocky, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. My pick to win the March Madness tournament still alive with the Duke Blue Devils. I actually had them beating my Buckeyes in the second round, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Appreciate the good vibes.
Wasn't pleased to see
TCU,
the Buckeyes not in the second round, but when you live in Lincoln, Nebraska, you've got to be a Huskers fan, and my daughter went and demanded that I buy her a Husker shirt to wear to school.
Great.
So I told her that's fine as long as we remember where our roots are. and so it's been really exciting. I got to go through this in college when Kent State made the Elite Eight, which was a really unbelievable time as a student on that campus, and watching them go for that run. And here's to hoping that the Huskers find a way to continue the magic.
I texted you after that game on Saturday. I said that was a millimeter away from being the worst sports moment of my life. And
Who thinks that way, by the way? That it could have been the worst moment of my life, when in reality, when you're a Husker fan at your age,
it's probably
it's in the top five.
It's
right?
top 2 sports moment of my entire life.
It just cracks me. We were this close to a legendary March moment. It's legendary anyway,
It is.
whether it goes in or not.
And you were there.
I was there. I almost cried.
Yeah, and you were on press
Rocky,
row.
I've cried 2 times in my adult life. 2 times. My
You're-
2 kids.
you're
I almost
fortunate.
made it 3.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I saw a video of it slowed down and the camera panning to the Nebraska players, then the camera panning to Fred, then the camera panning to the other sideline, and it was just incredible.
The duality
to-
of sports, yeah.
Yes, to see, like, the Nebraska guys thought it went in.
Yeah.
And then to see it just kind of rim out, it was a perfect way to end that game.
Yep.
What an entertaining game. Huskers aside, Lincoln aside, like, what an entertaining game to watch. The threes back and forth, the clutch shots, the big play. It was just what a fun basketball. That's what March Madness is supposed to be.
100%. Have you kept up to date on what Corey Courtney's bracket's doing right now in our pool?
He's crushing it.
98.3%.
He's crushing
on the
it.
conversion rate on
And
that right now.
I am
Ball knower.
usually just to take the higher seed type of guy, and that really has backfired on me this year. But Corey's rolling. Arizona is his pick to win it all, so we'll see. He's in another pool that I'm in with my buddy from Texas, and he's leading that one too as well, obviously.
I think Nate Pedersen and Charles Menard are last in our
Nate
pool.
Pedersen picked Miami to
'cause
win
he's going to
the
college
national
there, yeah.
championship, and
Chuck
I think,
chose Nebraska though.
Yeah,
He's still alive in that sense.
I respect that. Obviously, I don't think the Miami of Ohio squad was going to win the national championship, but
Yeah,
I appreciate
Cinderella's.
Peds making that
Yeah,
pick.
hey, stick with it, I guess, is in that sense. I got a big week ahead for the Stars, 3-game weekend, 2 against the Chicago Steel on Friday and Saturday. Tickets are still available for that, or for those games on LincolnStars.com. We've got a post-game concert on Friday night as well. If you buy a ticket to the game, you get a concert post-game for free. It's going to be a fun night. We'll have the Drew Phillips Band. They opened for Rodney Atkins at the Icebox last summer, which I've been told was a great show. I wasn't in Lincoln at that point yet, so I wasn't really able to confirm on that, but I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal night at the Icebox on Friday. But looking at the series against Chicago, we have an opportunity to play the villain this week. Chicago, with 1 loss for Madison win, their season is not going to go past the regular season, can end their postseason hopes this weekend. A role that we haven't had to play a whole lot this season when it comes to trying to eliminate teams' postseason hopes, with how close the Western Conference has been throughout this campaign, but getting a chance to kind of embrace a new role down the final stretch of the season.
Yeah, and they're obviously coming in here in a desperate mode. They need to win to keep their hopes alive, and they obviously, I think Madison's in Sioux City this weekend, so that should be interesting because we'll have an eye on that series as well. Certainly, we're going to continue to try
I got an eye everywhere
to play for that 3rd seed if we can. Obviously, 4th is good too, just to get home ice in the first round, but you want to get as high as you can in the standings. And we're going to watch the game tomorrow. Sioux City plays Fargo tomorrow. Then we'll be even. No more games in hand.
I think Des Moines plays Cedar Rapids tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, that game will be interesting too. Cedar's been
They've
giving
been
us
hot.
a little bit of help
I think
as well.
14-game point streak as well.
Yeah, they're a good club, and obviously
We saw them way
Carly's
earlier
a
in the
great
year.
coach. We saw them very early in the year. I think our 5th and 6th game of the season, maybe, and they're a good club. They've done a good job. Carly's obviously a great coach, all-time winningest coach in the USHL, and so it's good to see them back in the mix. They were, when I first came in the league, they were dormant for the year because they had a lot of damage to their building from a storm. That was the same year that Madison went dormant during the COVID issues, and so the league obviously is much healthier now, looks a lot better, and Cedar is a program that's been there for years and years. Carly's been there since the early 2000s, and so happy for him that he's got the boys going there.
Yeah, and like I said, getting opportunity to play the villain in that sense. There's also, we mentioned the college basketball tournament. We got to talk a little bit about college hockey with that tournament starting this week as well. We put out the post yesterday mentioning all of our alumni. There's a lot of Stars alumni in the tournaments this year, whether that's on coaching staffs or as players. I don't. Are you a college hockey bracket fill out person? Because
No.
we did one in the office this afternoon.
No,
So,
I've never done that. Not that I wouldn't. I'm usually so engrossed in what we're
Well,
doing
right.
at this time of year, and we'll certainly be watching and certainly be rooting for all of our former players. And there's definitely some interesting matchups. Penn State Duluth in the first round is certainly a really interesting matchup. But if you made that tournament, you've got a good hockey team,
Mhm.
and I know Bentley's the bottom seed, but they're a good hockey
Yeah.
team. They've been playing really good, and Andy's got them going. So I think it's going to be an exciting couple weeks of hockey, to say the least.
Tournament starts on Thursday at the Denny Sanford Premier Center up in Sioux Falls. I had Duluth winning in my bracket. In my bracket, more because they have a lot of Stars alum. You think of guys like Joey Peters, Hunter Anderson, Daniel Schlane, as well. Former Stars head coach Cody Chupp on that coaching staff in Duluth. We mentioned Adam Kleber as well, NHL draft pick. I based everything off of how getting an opportunity to post when those guys end up winning national championships.
Yeah, I mean, we're rooting for former Stars in
Mhm.
every way, shape, or form, and but even the conference championship
Yeah.
games were really exciting. That
Denver,
Ohio
Duluth,
State
yeah.
Michigan game was really exciting. Denver Duluth was really exciting. Yukon Merrimack was really exciting. So I think it's going to be a great tournament, and you're going to see some spoilers because the teams that are quote unquote the lower seeded teams are pretty darn good hockey clubs.
Yeah, and that's always it's the funny thing about these tournaments is it's a one game round robin. Anything can happen on any given night. You have an off night, your season's over. You have a good night, like if you are like a Bentley, you have a shot because it's not like you're playing series here.
No, and that's how you get those upsets in this tournament where a 16 beats a 1 because it's a one game deal and it happens.
St. Cloud State lost to Air Force, I think, one year. That was Motzko's last year before he went to the Gophers. Now, of course, not with Minnesota anymore. Brett Larson taking over there with that news today.
Former St. Cloud State head coach,
Yeah.
now the coach of the Gophers, and it's always funny this time of year with the coaching moves. Things start to, the dominoes start to fall a little bit, and Brown has already replaced their head coach, and Yale's looking for a head coach now. St. Cloud's looking for a head coach, and
Do you see that Yale news?
I did in the New York Post.
Yeah.
That was quite interesting. Obviously, Coach Elaine is one of the greats in
Mhm.
college hockey, and he's an alum of Yale. Obviously, loves that university, and so to see him speak the way he did in that letter to the president, very matter of fact, was interesting. They certainly have some issues internally there, and I'll be curious to see what that makes that head coach hire look like moving forward.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see kind of how that all shapes up as well. It's that area where there's a lot of uncertainty. There's certainty with the 16 teams that are in the 16 team field, and then everywhere else, it's just a matter of just throwing something in the air and kind of hoping it sticks during the off season.
Yeah, and there's teams that maybe didn't have great years. Ohio State being one of them. Now they've been in the tournament 2 of the last 3 years, but didn't have a great season, but find their way into the Big Ten championship game in a contract year for Coach Rolick, and I'm sure that earns him an extension. But college hockey is just it's such a challenge for the players, the coaches, the recruiters. It's every night you're playing against an elite opponent, and the margin of error is so thin. You're playing less than 40 games, and you've got to try to find a way to recognize the value of every win moves you incrementally, and somebody loses and it changes your rankings. It's very intricate when it comes to that, but sitting and watching Augustana having a chance to get in the tournament, they needed the chips to fall the right way for them a little bit. Didn't get it, but that's how close teams come to making that tournament or getting knocked out.
I wonder how much of a change that is for players that are playing in like the USHL, where you're playing 60 plus games a season. Then you go to college, you're playing no more than 30 games in a regular campaign, or no more than 34 games in a regular season campaign as well. Do you feel like that's a bit of a big change for them at all? Or
it's an opportunity for development because you get more practice time, you get more time in the gym, and a lot of people forget now with college sports that they are student athletes, and sometimes people tend to drop the word student there, but they're student athletes, and you're going there to advance your education, to continue to develop as a human, and obviously continue to grow as an athlete. But the number of NCAA students that are playing college sports that are going to get paid to play professional sports is very, very small. And so if you can be a Division I student athlete, it's a pretty spectacular achievement and one that should be applauded.
Yeah, and we mentioned we have that those games coming up against Chicago. We're giving away tickets to those games this weekend with a trivia question that will go ahead and give you the question as it stands right now. The question is as follows. Who are the last Stars alum to win a national championship in the men's hockey side of things in the NCAA? Hint, there are two. We will accept either or both, in all honesty. So just go ahead and shoot that into the text line, 402-464-5685, whenever you get the chance. I'm sure you know the answer.
I do know
Rocky.
the answer,
So,
yes. I do know the answer. In fact, one of them played a rather large role in the championship game last year, if I'm correct.
Indeed, you would be correct. Let's go ahead and switch. We were talking basketball, been talking hockey. Baseball season gets underway explicitly tomorrow night on Netflix. Yankees and Giants on Netflix tomorrow night. And then, of course, opening day, always a big festivity on Thursday in Major League Baseball. How are your Sox going to do this year, Rocky?
They're much improved. Yeah. Roman Anthony, baby, let's go.
Hey.
They're going to be a good club. They're going to compete to win their division. I think obviously the Yankees are what the Yankees are, but can we talk about how the fact that game is on Netflix? Like, I'm so sick of games being on Peacock, games being on Prime, games being on Netflix. I thought when we went to streaming services, because cable got so expensive, we were going to be able to save a couple bucks. Instead, now you need 45 different subscriptions just to be able to watch all these games. So it's an interesting situation. And I remember as a kid, opening day, like you could watch every game. Yeah. Those games started at noon and they just went all day long, and you just buckled into ESPN and watched games all day. And certainly the dynamic of that has changed significantly. But I'm always excited for a new baseball season. And as a Red Sox fan, you hope to see them continue to challenge the vaunted Yankees in the AL East there. But it's I think it's wide open. Look at Toronto, obviously had a great year last year. Their coach and GM just got contract extensions, and you've got the Dodgers that are going to be there at the end of the day. But it seems like there has been a shift where it's not the same 3 or 4 teams every year, and more teams are in the mix down the stretch, and I think that's good for the game.
Exactly. Well, the Dodgers are always going to be in it, dependent, because they have the best player in baseball with Shohei Ohtani. I don't feel if that is an argument, it's probably him. It's not
Judge. An argument. Judge is what did Judge do? What does Judge do in the clutch?
Well, he didn't do anything in the WBC, that's for sure.
He didn't, and so he's fantastic, obviously, and he's won MVPs and this and that, but. We've had this conversation before. He needs postseason success in a World Series to be at the upper echelon. And I know that Ohtani has a World Series. Granted, it was a little bit of a different situation there, but he has one. And
he's got 2 now, doesn't he?
Does he have 2 now?
He had the one last year with the Dodgers.
Yeah, but the first one was
he didn't have he wasn't on the team in the COVID year, was he? I don't think so.
No. So that was their
just
first
the
one then.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got year. One, but. Watching him pitch, watching him the way he hits the ball, it's incredible to see. He's an elite athlete that comes along. I can't even say once in a generation. When was the last time we had a pitcher that just went and raked when he wasn't on the mound? So, you're
Babe
looking
Ruth.
at the modern day Babe Ruth, and I think that's pretty impressive to watch. And you're going to have that Judge Ohtani comparison until they both retire, but as long as Ohtani keeps pitching, I don't think it's even a conversation.
Correction, Dodgers won back-to-back, so Ohtani has 2.
He has 2.
So he won the one 24 and 25.
There you go.
My bad. It's unfortunately, I don't think about the Dodgers a whole lot because I'm in my whole NL Central bubble, but that's besides the point. And I think the World Series was going on, at the beginning of our season. So, it was. I had to plug out of baseball pretty quickly there to kind of focus on everything.
That's how long our season is. They ended and started again, and we're still going.
Yeah, we hope to be going all the way until May. So,
yes. Listen, we're 7-3 in our last 10.
Ain't bad at all.
And we're playing good hockey right now. And we brought some of our affiliate players in to get their feet wet. And you've seen guys like KJ Sauer do a really nice job. And You know, Lincoln Ayers Assad and Cole Brownch is in, and we'll get Caden Danya in this weekend, and so it's been exciting to kind of see the future of the Stars at the same time as our current group is battling, trying to jockey for position in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun to witness that. Again, Stars are back in action this weekend, 2 against Chicago at home at the Icebox. Tickets available at LincolnStars.com. Then we head to Omaha again on Sunday to take on a hot Lancers squad. We haven't been able to say that for the past couple of seasons, but they've been playing some really good hockey lately, kind of building some more fire into the I-80 rivalry.
They're playing fantastic hockey, and hats off to Ron and his staff. They've brought some players in there that have been difference makers, young guys that they kind of were able to sneak in. And, you know, whether it's Izrailov or Kim, the young guys, they just kind of let play from the start of the year.
Cole Hiles has been really good for them, too.
Cole Hiles has been great. They got him in a trade from
Yeah.
Cedar Rapids last year. You know, but the Prima kid they brought in, the 08 from Minot, he's been really good for them. They made the trade for Bronco Vukas for the Lands kid out of Muskegon. And Lands has been really good for them. Like, they've got some players, man, and they play hard, and they know they have nothing to play for but to be that spoiler. And the reality of it is like, you beat the 17s 10-0 in October. You rarely beat the 17s 10-0 in March because they have developed and morphed into that U18 type of looking team. And so for them to do what they did on Saturday night was really, really impressive.
And like you've said ad nauseum on the show as well, whenever Omaha is better than they have been, it's good for the Stars too, because you mentioned that story about, you know, beating them 7-3 at the Icebox last year, driving home and kind of feeling empty about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is good for the rivalry. It's good for both organizations, and quite frankly, it's good for the league to have, you know, that rivalry be alive and well. And when you look at, you know, Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, Waterloo, their Cowbell Cup there with Des Moines that they have, like, it's good if all 4 of those teams are good. And Waterloo and Dubuque have kind of dominated that for the last few years, but Cedar's in the mix now. Des Moines is much improved. They've got a really good club. And so I think that obviously there are no bad teams in the league. Waterloo has struggled with basically an entire full rebuild, new coaching staff, the whole deal. They lost a ton of their players from last year's Clark Cup final team, and they'll bounce back. They'll get back in the mix, but they can give you a game any night, and so there is no game you look at and you're like, yeah, that's a W. We just need to throw the jerseys over our head and go. You got to play every single night.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun to be able to call those games. I'm sure it's not as fun for you on the bench getting to witness those 7-6 games, but of course the win always softens the blow a little bit.
Man, we were on a little bit of a break there. I think the guys knew that they had some time off without the games this past weekend, which worked out great for us. We couldn't ask for a better weekend of games with us not playing, but that was an exciting game for the fans and the opposite of what I'm interested in as a coach. But you know, I said to the guys, hey, we didn't play the best brand of hockey that game, but we found a way.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to find a way. And you know, to go from 6-4 to 6-6 to, you know, Cade makes an elite play in overtime and wins the game. We get the regulation overtime win. We didn't have to get to the shootout. So valuable for us down the stretch here.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun to kind of witness the back and forth. That was also your best players coming through in that sense as well. Loomer, 2 goals, Pelletier, 2 goals, Kohansky with the overtime winner, Nick Young had a goal. Evan Malkasian started centering that line with Pelletier and Loomer. I think halfway through that game as well, he had what we could argue was probably his best game as a Star in that game as well. Talk about the development of these, you know, these first-year USHLers. I mean, I know Drew Nelson spent a little bit of time with the team last year, but his first full season here in Lincoln, he's been really good, been on the top pair for you guys most of the season. Brady Sloper, Nathaniel Poole as well. We mentioned Malkasian. Nate Pedersen's a rookie in this league as well. Charles Menard. Talk about their development through this latter part of the stretch.
It's been really fun to watch. And, you know, you have people on the outside go, well, hey, if you would have gave that guy more opportunity early on in the year, you would have got more from him or what have you. But the truth of the matter is, the roles that some of these guys have worked their way into, they weren't ready for at the beginning of the year. And that keyword development, the reps they get, the video coaching they get, the the extra time in the weight room to get bigger and stronger, getting away from home, becoming more mature, becoming more accountable, that allows you to grow into some of those roles. And when you take a guy like a Pedersen, you just say, hey, listen, I'm going to let him play through his ups and downs. He's a young kid. He was our phase 1 first round pick 2 years ago. You're going to commit to him being up and down at times, which he has been, but he's got 29 points. He's doing a great job in his first year, and he's got big minutes for us at times. He's centered that first line. He's centered that second line. He's played on the power play. He's killed penalties. And so from a developmental standpoint, you're watching in real time as Peds becomes a man. You know, he played high school hockey, comes in here in his senior year of high school, and he's grinding through a junior hockey season. And then you're going to see that player that had 30, 35 points, whatever he ends up with at the end of the year, turn into that 60, 70 point guy next year. And that's because of all the hard times and the adversity that he goes through this year. Same thing with guys like Vandertop, right? They're figuring it out. They're going through hard times. And when they get to the other side of it, all of this is going to be a huge step in their development.
Is that the most rewarding part of coaching?
100%. Taking the team in early September, going through training camp, watching what you have and fitting the puzzle pieces together, and then identifying what you think a player can be, and then pushing them to get to that level. And you watch the growth of the individual, you watch the growth of the team, you watch the culture take hold. You go through the hard times, which we certainly have had plenty of this year.
Roller coaster, as you say.
Yeah, and you know what? That roller coaster, I know it was, in jest a little bit, but it was important for us to go through a 6-game losing streak, to lose 8 of 9 or whatever it was, and find our way to the other side and recognize, hey, we are a good team. And we don't need to get in our own way, which is what we did at times when we were struggling. And now there's a tremendous amount of belief in the room. The guys are excited for this coming weekend and what the rest of the regular season and the playoffs look like. And you've got a chance. That's all you can ask for, is you've got a chance. You've got a ticket to the dance, and you've got a chance. And if things come together, you have a chance to win a championship.
Like we've said all season, you get hot at the right time, anything can happen, right?
Yeah, Waterloo was a perfect example of that last year. I think they had 11 or 12 overtime points last year, where they had lost games in overtime, but they were stacking points that way, and they were so good in 6-on-5 and 5-on-6 situations because they were in them almost every single game. But they found their identity in the playoffs. They had an incredibly hot goalie in Caden Casey, and they rode it all the way to the Clark Cup finals. And quite frankly, that series was a coin flip, and obviously Muskegon wins it, but Waterloo was right there as a 3 seed. So, they made it the hard way without the bye. And so, neither one of those teams had a bye last year, if I'm correct. And so they were able to, one of those teams wins a championship. The other one finds their way into the Clark Cup finals. And we're hoping that we can be that version of the team this year.
34-18-6-4 was their full record last year. For conversely, Muskegon was 38-16-4-4. So they had 8 overtime losses or shootout losses, and Waterloo with 10 combined as well.
That's a lot of overtime points that you're collecting. And, one of the tiebreakers in this league is regulation overtime wins. And as a coach, I'm considering that when it comes to how we're managing overtime. I don't want to get to that shootout if we don't have to. If we can press and try to score, then we're going to do it. It was funny. We were in a game against Tri-City a couple months back, and we were going to overtime, and Pelly looked at me, and Prado was in the net, and Pelly goes, I don't think we want to get to the shootout. We got to try to win this now. And I go, don't worry, we're going next rep. And I went 3 forwards, him, Looms, and Cade, I think, the next rep trying to score. We didn't score. Meanwhile, we went and went 3 for 3 in the shootout and won.
I think that was the 3-3 week as well. That was an odd stretch.
So, but you don't want those, it's nice to win. Obviously it's nice to win, but they don't count as ROWs. And so if you do get into that tiebreaker where you're tied with points and wins, then you have to get to the regulation overtime wins, and you can lose a spot in the standings based on those. So really important that we recognize that, try to get as many points as we can here in the last 5 games. And, we are, I think, a game back in ROW with a couple teams. And so we don't want that to be the reason why we're not at home for the first round, or we're not in a position that we want to be in.
Easiest way to do that is just win, baby.
That's it. Al Davis, just win, baby.
We'll take a break. When we come back, more Outside the Box, 93.7 The Ticket.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984, with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myinspartners.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm. In the afternoon, high around 70. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and a light wind, low around 47. Tomorrow, we'll see most of the sunny skies return with a light breeze. Be hot. In the afternoon, high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models, from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Alex Ferd.
More Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Alexander Fern, as always, continuing our weekly coverage here on 93.7 The Ticket about Stars hockey. We've got a couple of very special guests that are coming in for the second half of the show. We've got Lane Loomer, of course. He's been recurring on the show a couple of times, and then we're going to have some of our billet parents, billet family, billet parents. It's hard to refer to it in that sense, but we'll have Tess and Shane Bloom on. Tess is in studio right now. She's down there across the table. Tess, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
And Lane, how are you doing on this Tuesday evening?
I'm doing good, Fernsey.
Good. So I guess the first question I've got directed more to you before, of course, Shane gets here as well. How did you guys kind of get into the whole billet situation?
Yeah, we were definitely not normal billets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't even know what billeting was, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a nurse, and I just got caught wearing my St. Louis Blues badge, and somebody had said, hey, like, oh my gosh, you're a Blues fan. What's that about? Blah, 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 whatever. And I said, yeah, we follow Stars hockey, da-da-da. And she said, you should consider billeting a player if you're that into it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, didn't even know what that meant. So she gave us contact for Patty, our billet coordinator, and she just kind of took it from there, and we opened our home, and now we're 4 years in.
For those of you that don't know what a billet parent is, did you want to kind of let in our audience? Because, of course, we're always looking for new billet families as well.
Yeah, so billeting is where the boys move in beginning of season. So like Lane moved in this year, middle or end of August, and they stay with us through season. So for sure, regular season through like the end of April, and then obviously hopefully playoffs and maybe even a chance at a Clark. So Lane stays with us. He makes himself at home in the basement, eats dinner, hangs out with us, goes out to eat with us. We know his family. He knows our family. And yeah, it's great. Just a little addition to the family.
You mentioned that you guys are a little bit more different than what a normal billet family would be. Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah, we're like probably 20 years younger than the average billet, which I think is kind of was kind of like intimidating at first, a little bit daunting. The idea of opening your home to a 20-year-old and 18-year-old, whatever the case is. So we were a little bit hesitant of that. We don't have kids of our own, but I mean, really, it's just if you have a house, have a room, have a full pantry of food, let them at it. So.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep the boys fed. I think that's probably the number one thing
for sure
that you want to do. Lane, how has it been? This is your third season here in Lincoln, your second full season. You've spent parts of 3 seasons here in Lincoln. How has it been being a kid from a different country, being from Canada, coming to as center of the United States as you could be? How has that been acclimating, and how big of a part do billet families kind of play in that for you?
Yeah, they definitely play a massive part just through that transition, and especially moving to Nebraska, where I was not familiar at all with the Midwest or the state or anything, but they made that process like super transparent, super clear, and helped out a ton. So super grateful for them accepting me into their home, and the rest has just been great.
And Shane's here now as well. So how are you doing today?
Sorry that I was a little bit late. Surgery ran a little bit late.
No, I
today,
get you.
So yeah,
hey,
but we're here.
You're pretty important when it comes to how this whole society thing tends to work out. We were just talking, about how you guys both became billet parents, and in that sense, Tess was talking about, getting noticed with the St. Louis Blues lanyard as well. How did it start for you as well?
I would say Tess was a big influence on that. Kind of drew me in as far as that goes. I'd watched the Lincoln Stars growing up, of course.
Of course.
I was very aware. I enjoyed that. I wasn't a diehard hockey fan until I kind of got absorbed into their family. So they sucked me in, and it's been great. So.
Has hockey always been a big thing for you then?
Yeah, we grew up season ticket holders for the Stars, I think, since like 1997, 1998.
Second season. Gee, that's a long time.
Yeah. So then, USHL hockey, and that's all we have here for hockey. So we kind of went all in on that. And it's been great.
Yeah, and it's been, I grew up in Lincoln too, so it's always been fun to kind of witness the whole up and coming of billet families through all of that. What is kind of the most rewarding part of being a billet parent? Is it success on the ice? Is it relationships off of it? Both of you guys can answer this. If you guys both have different answers, go ahead.
I think success on the ice, we're super lucky. Like, we've just gotten fortunate with Loom, and I mean, honestly, all of our players have been standout players, had standout seasons. That's just like a perk, not a requirement. I would love my billet kid no matter what points are looking like, but that's a huge bonus. Honestly, I would say getting to know, we've hosted Canadians. Like, that's, I don't know why, like, we're the Canadian household. So
who have you all had in the past so far? Loomer,
Malte, and then we had a couple affiliates.
Okay.
Also happen to be from Quebec too.
Gotcha.
So, I would say, like, getting to know their families, getting to know what home is like for them, kind of how they grew up in hockey, and I don't know, it's just nice, their perspective. Obviously, they're a lot more absorbed in hockey, whereas we're much more a football, volleyball state. So it's nice getting their perspective on that.
Yeah, for me, it would definitely be like being introduced to, Lane as a human being, meeting his family, seeing his upbringing. That's just been a huge reward, getting to know these people and, making lifelong friends and family out of them. Yeah. But again, definitely a nice bonus being, number 2, number 3 points leader in the league.
Hey,
so that's been a lot of fun.
It's good to have the success coming with it too, Alims.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, a lot of personal success for you on the ice this season, being a top 3 scorer in the USHL. Take me through kind of the step in development that you've been able to have, as we're kind of winding down. I think this might be the last time we have you on the show before the playoffs start up. So take me through kind of how this whole development has worked out for you this campaign.
Yeah, I think just definitely coming back for a third season that way, just taking a step every year. And honestly, just staying healthy has been a key factor of just every weekend being ready to go. So, and I think just the development throughout the year that's flown by, but it's been a lot of fun that way.
You mentioned staying healthy. You've stayed healthy when it comes to, not being quote unquote injured, but you've still taken a pretty big beating over the past couple of weeks in terms of your face.
Yeah. I got hit a few times there.
It happens.
Back weeks, but
it comes with the job, I guess, right? Yeah. You mentioned growing up, Stars season ticket holders, becoming a billet family. So when you were introduced to what being a billet family was by, you said your coworker as well, what did you do once you kind of figured out that was something that was available?
Called Shane.
Okay.
And kind of like when you want to adopt a pet or something, I was like, hey, how would you feel if we took in a USHL player, an affiliate player, an ATU player, whatever the case is? You know, it's like kind of as much a big a commitment as it is adopting a pet. I mean, they're here better part of a year. So, yeah, we just made sure our house was like accommodating. Loom has the whole basement and his own bathroom and all that good stuff. Make sure he has a safe, happy place to come home to after hard days on the ice, and started grocery shopping and meal planning a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, going from just Shane and I mean, we both work healthcare, so our meals are very hit or miss, to having to load Loom up with chicken and rice and pasta every night. So,
Hey, well, you got to do what you got to do. So before we go ahead and take our first break of the final segment, we're going to go ahead and restate our trivia question for a chance to win tickets to this weekend's games against Chicago's Steel. Who are the last Stars alumni to win a national championship in the NCAA? We will accept 2 answers. Hint, hint. They were on last year's national championship team in the NCAA. We'll take a break on 93.7 The Ticket.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm. The afternoon high around 70. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and a light wind, low around 47. Tomorrow, we'll see most of the sunny skies return with a light breeze. It'll be hot. The afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
On March 28th, get ready for a doubleheader day of volleyball. First, Baxter Arena turns green as Love Nebraska faces Love Salt Lake at 4:30 p.m. for a green out. Be sure to wear your best green outfit, bring the energy, and watch as every point builds off the crowd. Then be sure to stick around as the Creighton Blue Jays take on the Omaha Mavericks for a spring volleyball match. That means you get to experience your favorite pros and favorite college athletes all in one day. 2 matches, 1 ticket. Grab your tickets today at lovneb.com/tickets.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Alex Ferd.
Wrapping up Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket and the ticketfm.com. Alexander Fern, and we've got Lane Loomer and the Blooms on for the final 10 or so minutes of Outside the Box before this weekend's games against the Chicago Steel on Friday and Saturday at the Icebox. Tickets available at LincolnStars.com. And then on Saturday, we get to renew the I-80 rivalry once again with the Omaha Lanters. It's a family and billet appreciation weekend at the Icebox as well, so it'll be a fun weekend. I'm sure it'll be a tad emotional as well, because it's kind of the culmination of that full season of relationships that you guys get to build. I talked about, or asked you, what the most rewarding part of being a billet is, and you mentioned kind of getting to watch them grow throughout the campaign into being one of the best players as they can be in that sense. What's been the most rewarding part in general of your guys' Stars fandom? What's your favorite, moment throughout your guys' fandoms? If that is, being a billet family, if it is, you mentioned that you've been around for a while. So, I mean, you guys have any favorites? David Backus. Yeah. Okay. Well, of course, you're a Blues person, so it's of course got to be that way. Yeah. Do you have one, Shane, at all, or?
I would probably say last year was really cool watching us just develop and turning into kind of a powerhouse team. And then being Anderson Cup winners with that. Set a record for most goals scored by the Lincoln Stars. Okay, yeah, it was just phenomenal watching that group develop and learn to play with one another. I thought that was really fun. And then having 2 of the players living with us that year, to know kind of the chemistry, it was, very entertaining for sure.
I bet. How many did you guys get to go to all the home games? With your guys' schedule, of course, being, working in the field that you guys work in, what's it like kind of getting a chance to watch the games on the weekends?
Yeah, we go to every home game that we can. If Shane is on call, sometimes it's tough. Like, there'll be games where I'll tell Loom beforehand, like, hey, Shane's on call. We're going to try to make it, but you might have to take me home after the game if Shane gets called in. And that's just part of it. But no, we go to every home game that we can. We even travel. I mean, I went to Michigan. We did Fargo. We did Sioux Falls. We do Tri-City and Omaha. Yeah. Especially like Loom's last season. It's just really bittersweet to kind of squeeze in all that you can.
Yeah, it's been really cool to kind of watch the progression in that sense, and I hope to God that I'm doing enough of a good job to make your guys' lives easier when you guys aren't able to make those trips. So
for sure, Flo's a lifesaver.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make sure that it gets production value gets bolstered in that sense as well. Looms, do you have a favorite memory throughout your time in Lincoln? Is it this season, with the personal success that you've had, getting to watch guys on the team succeed? Is it the fact that you wore number 8 before Alex Pelletier did? Is it something like that?
Yeah, no, to be honest, no idea if I had to have like one moment to kind of pick from, but just the day-to-days are so fun. Just at the rink at home with my billets, like just every day is so much fun, and so couldn't really tell a moment every game. So yeah, no way I could choose just one moment.
Do you ever hold that over Pelly's head, the fact that you wore 8 before he did, or?
No, not at all. It was just like when I first got here, 10 wasn't available, and then as soon as it was going to be available the next year,
You were
I
always
was already gonna
you wanted to be 10. Had you been 10 throughout most of your hockey career?
Yeah, I always wore number 10.
It's always kind of funny when I go through the old photo archives and I'm trying to get something up for a graphic, and you're there.
Oh,
You're just
really?
wearing the 8. You got the really long hair going out of the back too.
Yeah, I had some lettuce going for sure.
Which it's starting to come back after you shaved your head at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
so
when all the guys buzzed it, it's starting to kind of come back a bit now.
that's been one of my favorite parts.
That's fair.
That trip to Waterloo and then seeing all the bad haircuts that came back for the pumpkin patch the week after that was an unbelievable sight. That's for sure.
Yeah, did we do that before the pumpkin?
No, it was right after because
Right
remember Prushek showed up at the pumpkin patch and he took off his hat to show Rocky.
Yeah, his was low. His was low for sure.
Yeah, because I think he came up with the idea on that whole thing.
Yeah, he fully did his. Yeah.
What's your guys' reaction when he comes home with a shaved head then? Out of absolutely nowhere.
I was sad. I like Loom's curls. I was sad.
Well, you got a hair.
It
Yeah.
wasn't as bad as Prusek. Like I'm thankful I didn't like, use a lawnmower or anything, but it was still sad. But it's growing back.
Well, if I remember correctly, you got a not great haircut before you shaved it off. Is that the reason you did it?
No, we were originally planning to do it with a few of the guys, and then it was just didn't have the best haircut. It was just the timing. It was like sometime this year we were going to do it.
Yeah, because I remember this picture, the headshot that they used. I don't know if that was pre or post after you got your first haircut at the beginning of the season, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun getting to know you guys on a personal level when it comes to the kind of players, the kind of people you guys are, and getting to watch you guys develop in that sense as well. So, we mentioned that we're giving away tickets for this weekend. We do have our winner, the number ending in 3691. The answers that we were going to accept for the question being, who are the last 2 Stars alum to win a national championship in the NCAA ranks? We would have accepted Owen Michaels or Cole Krusberg-Rosine on the Western Michigan Broncos squad from last year's Frozen Four. So number ending in 3691, you are the winner of this contest. Come on down to 1040 O Street, pick up your tickets for this weekend's games against the Chicago Steel. We've got 5 for you for this weekend at the Icebox. So as we continue to kind of just wrap up the show, going into the final 5 games of the season throughout hopefully a long playoff run as well. What are you guys looking forward to most down the final stretch of the season? We'll go down the line here.
Okay. Looking forward to is tough. It's more the opposite,
hopefully it's hoisting Mr. Clark above our head in May. That'd be
there.
sick.
We go. Yeah, I like the idea of that, but we're just trying to soak it in.
Yeah.
At this point, we've had Lane for coming up on 3 years now.
Mhm.
So while we're very excited for him and his transition into the other side, the college scene, obviously sad to see that come to a close here and being done in Lincoln, Nebraska. So just soaking it up and enjoying what time we've got.
Yeah, for sure. It's bittersweet. You're always like, you think when the boys move in August, you have so much time and it's such a long season and the boys play so much, but really then, spring comes again, season comes to an end, and it just happens faster than you're ready for every year. We're not ready for it. So, but I'm excited to see the boys. I hope that they can pull together for a little bit of a run and work together. I'm excited to see Loom finish his season out strong. He's had a really good season. So
You got one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess just finish the last 5 games, last 2 weekends, and then just make a run in the playoffs. And I think we got the group to do it, so I'm excited that way. But then, yeah, obviously just how fast the seasons went. Even last time I was on here, we were talking, like we have probably like 18 games left at that point, and it's just flown by since, even since Christmas. Just the whole time's flown by. It's crazy to think, we're in the last stretch playoffs now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to get to witness this. Final question before we get out of here. If you had to tell anybody that was on the fence about wanting to become a billet family for the Lincoln Stars, what would you say to them? You got a 30-second pitch.
Gotcha.
It's a loaded question, I know.
was going to say, I don't think I'll need 30 seconds. I think that just do it, from our experience. Tess and I just kind of took a leap of faith just to see what it's like. I think these kids are phenomenal. They're very driven. They've got a goal. I think it's hard to let somebody that you don't know into your home, but they're here for a reason, and it really is very cool for us to be a part of their journey. not
Mhm.
vice versa.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
would be my pitch.
For sure. If you have a little bit of extra room in your house, whether you love hockey or you want to get into hockey, it's a great opportunity to do that. The kids are good for the most part. They're well-behaved kids, definitely here for a reason. So no worries in that sense. And I would say, yeah, there's no like right or wrong billet. Like I said, we were definitely kind of outlier billets, a little bit younger and not even knowing what it was about. And it's been one of the best things we've done. It's super rewarding, and you definitely make some lifelong friends and family along the way.
Last but not least, the player perspective. Looms, what do you have for a pitch to become a billet family?
Oh, I think, just try it out at least a year, kind of just if you're available to do it. I mean, try it out, and it's awesome. Like, it makes the experience so much better. The junior hockey, everything, it helps so much, especially just we're super thankful for everything they do.
Guys, thank you so much for hopping on this show on Tuesday. We hope to talk to you guys down the line. For the Blooms, for Lane, for Rocky, my name is Alexander Fern. We'll be back on Tuesday on Outside the Box 93.7 The Ticket. More Old School next.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flat work, or concrete coatings, they